Hey, hey, I think we are live. This is awesome. This one's gonna be a corker. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm aware that you guys probably don't see me with this much makeup on. I am testing out for clown school. No, I'm joking. I'm just here because I just wanted to be fabulous today. No, I'm still joking. Right, sorry, just checking, make sure we are live. I am just going to pop over here. Guys, if you're watching live, type in #live. If you're watching replay, type in #replay. There is a very good reason why I'm asking you to do this today, and you do not want to miss out. So just do it now while I check, because you don't want to miss out, I promise. Okay, yeah, I can see we're live, and I can also see that pink and red don't match. So apologies about that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Don't forget to type in #live or replay if you're watching it on live or replay. So, guys, this video is for you if you have ever mindlessly eaten something. If you have ever reached the bottom of the pack and not realized that you were close to finishing. If you've ever reached out for food when you aren't hungry. If you've ever eaten out of habit instead of eaten intuitively. If you have ever or often snack a lot. If you snack in the late afternoon. Or if you finish a plate of food and still feel hungry. If you snack in the late mornings or afternoons, guarantee you it's around 8 to 11 in the morning and probably past 7 p.m. in the evening. If you do, this video is also for you. So for those of you that are watching live, I'm going to give you an opportunity to be coached at the end of this training video. So if you are open to exploring the places where you get stuck or uncovering your emotional eating patterns, please type in coached now, right now, coach now, and I'll pick someone by the end of the call. If no one has popped on live, that's totally fine. It doesn't matter. But if you are watching a replay, then type in replay coached and I'll get in touch with you to give you some free coaching around emotional eating afterwards. So you're not going to miss out if you're watching this on replay. So emotional eating is different to mindless eating. Let's not get them confused, okay? They may sound similar, but emotional eating looks like using food to self-soothe, to fill a void in your life, to create a sense of control, to procrastinate, and to cure boredom. Essentially, emotional eating is a coping mechanism that's been learnt to cope with any emotion rather than tackling it head on because it's the easiest method to self-soothe at the time. It was the easiest method at some point when this programming was learned, but now it no longer serves us and it doesn't serve our weight loss goals. The emotions we try to soothe with food can be positive and negative. So I don't want you going away thinking, oh, I don't really have anything negative in my life apart from my weight. But even that, even if nothing bad is happening in your life, but you're unhappy with your weight, you might end up eating through emotion still. You might think, oh, I'm sad. My body isn't where it wants to be. I feel frumpy. I don't enjoy the way I look. I'm constantly bloated. And that you might not realize it at the time, but that might have an impact on what you eat later and when you eat it, because you might get yourself into a negative state and want to be pulled out of that later on. So regardless of whether it's positive or negative emotions, emotional eating can still happen. So here's an example of how it is learned. So let's take Sally. Sorry if your name is Sally. Sally is a young kid, okay? Her parents are arguing, they're shouting, they're throwing things downstairs. It's really loud, it's really upsetting for her. It's really scary Sally feels scared and she's really, really worried. She doesn't know what's going on. She's too young to understand. After it all dies down, the emotions are still running high and Sally's still scared and still doesn't know what's going on, but her mum decides to take her out for ice cream. They go to an ice cream parlor or go down to the shop, and the ice cream has like a euphoric reaction for Sally and to Sally's current emotional state. The ice cream kind of triggers a positive response from the fat, the sugar, the dairy within the brain's pleasure sensors. So Sally was feeling really scared, worried, anxious, nervous, probably a little bit angry and upset. And now that hasn't been addressed, but her mom's taken her out for ice cream. She has the ice cream, and the ice cream triggers those pleasure responses in the brain, because that's what food does. That's what high fat foods, high sugar foods do. They trigger the pleasure response in the brain. Now the pleasure response has been activated. Sally feels happier, and she's kind of forgotten about the argument between her parents already. And her mum gives her a little pat on the shoulder and a hug and says, everything's going to be okay. Just eat your ice cream up. Sally's brain has now created a new neural pathway to connect ice cream or food or dessert or something sugary with happiness, comfort, and calm. Now, it might not be as dramatic as this for you or the next person, but this is just an example. Now, as an adult, Sally experiences a disrupt within her relationship. They have an argument and her partner leaves. She then decides to seek comfort. And so she subconsciously reaches for the ice cream. Before she knows it, she's finished a tub of ice cream. It soothes her immediately, but soon after, Sally's emotions and feelings still haven't been addressed. And she is back feeling upset, hurt, and now guilty that she's finished a tub of ice cream. She's stuck in this loop, emotional eating. She's sad, she feels better, she then feels sad. Guess what she does? She's finished up in a place of hurt because her emotions still haven't been addressed, and she's now guilty. And now there's shame around eating that food. How do we self-soothe? How do we comfort? How do we know that Sally's going to get out of that emotion? By soothing herself, using the only thing that her brain, and the quickest and easiest way that her brain has realized and made a connection between sadness and happiness, because our brain, our body, everything wants to feel happiness. Nothing in our body or brain wants to feel sadness because it's uncomfortable. Your throat closes up, your heart starts pounding, your stomach starts turning in knots. We start kind of becoming a bit of a recluse. Feeling angry or sad, upset, anxious, it's not a positive emotion to physically feel. So everything in Sally's brain is going to protect her from that. And it's going to go, crap, okay, shit. What are we going to do to put her in a good place? I know, let's crave some food. She then craves food, and the cycle happens again. Now, like I said, this might be very dramatic. It might seem very obvious. You might go, well, I don't know how Sally doesn't realize that when her parents took her out. She then created that pathway. That's because I've explained it. And it might be obvious to watch what happened in someone else's life, but it might be difficult to understand where your ingrained habits, where your neural pathways connected and why. It might not be as obvious as that. And it might not necessarily be for that scenario. In another scenario, you could be feeling extreme pleasure and euphoria, and you happen to be doing something, seeing someone, being somewhere, then being in that place or being with that person or seeing something in specific brings you back that joy. Have you ever had that where you listen to a song or you go to a place and then you go back there, or you listen to something and you feel those emotions? Have you ever walked into your old childhood school or an old town that you used to live in, and it brings back certain feelings or emotions. That's that. That's the neural pathways connecting those emotions and sensations with a place. Have you ever done it with a song where you listen to a song and it takes you straight back to some specific feelings or emotions? That is that. It just so happens that some people connect food because that was the quickest and easiest thing around at that time with certain scenarios or emotions or feelings. Just quickly, mindless eating is different, okay? Emotional eating is when you're eating from a place to serve a purpose in your mind. Mindless eating is more a habit. It's more just automatic. I mean, don't get me wrong, emotional eating is automatic, but mindless eating is more of a habit. Mindless eating is grabbing just a bite. You know, oh, I'm just going to try a bite of yours, darling. Or, darling, I don't know why I got suddenly so posh. Or maybe you want a lick of ice cream, or you want to just taste that food there that your partner or your parent has. Maybe your child didn't finish their plate. So, well, I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just going to have that one extra, I don't know, tofu nugget. Just going to have that one chip. Whatever that one bite, that one taste, that one lick, that one finishing off the plate is, it's habitual. So it doesn't just happen once. It happens over and over and over and over again. Just one bite a week later could mean an entire meal. It adds up, and it adds up very quickly, and it's very scary how quickly it can add up. So mindless eating is very important to pinpoint as well. But we're talking about emotional eating. Feeling an emotion is normal, but how we react is learned behavior. We need to feel emotions to experience being a human. That is the most beautiful thing about being a human. We have an array of emotions. We have an array of emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, euphoria. There's anxiety, depression. Yes, they're not all great, but some of them. Anxiety, hello. Depression. Yes, they're not all great. Why do I always do this? Hello. Sorry, let me start again. I'm trying to get the comments up to see who's commented. Beautiful. Hi guys, thank you. Just to quickly pause that. Oh, Stacey, thank you. It doesn't clash, the pink and the red. Stacey, eating whilst watching TV is mindless eating. Absolutely, it is mindless eating. I'll get back to that one in a second. I was actually going to talk about that. So feeling and emotion is normal, but how we react is learned behaviors. We need to feel all emotions to experience being a human. That's amazing. It's an amazing thing that we get to do. An emotion is often a good indicator that something needs to be addressed or done. But if an emotion is difficult to sit with and feel, we will put up resistance to live into it. Okay. And resistance accepting an emotion might look like this. It might look like busying yourself at work. So, oh, I'm too busy to deal with that emotion. It might look like endlessly scrolling through social media. It might look like procrastinating. It might look like drinking or using recreational drugs. But most importantly, while we're all here, it mainly looks like eating and binge eating. So eating and binge eating is often a resistance to feeling a particular emotion because that emotion is too uncomfortable to sit with. And because we have not learned how to process our emotions and feelings, and that's not your fault. That's not my fault. That's probably not necessarily your parents' fault because they didn't know how to do it either. It's just where we are. And one thing that I mentioned the other day is it's important to accept the responsibility to change. Yes, we can understand that our behaviors and our patterns have been programmed into us without us realizing. But now we have registered that and recognized it, It's our responsibility to change it. So now we know why emotional eating happens. We need to rewire our brain's pleasure responses and create new neural pathways. So eating to feel happiness, to feel loved, to feel comforted, to not feel bored or feel uncomfortable no longer serves us or our weight loss goals. So we need to understand that our emotions need to be addressed separately to food. Food serves us as fuel, not comfort. That is a good motto to have. Fuel serves me as fuel. Food serves me as fuel, not comfort. Choose that as your motto. Maybe start 2023 with that as your motto. So to address our emotions, before we get back to the food element, we need to allow negative emotions to come. We need to let them be present, but we should also work through them. Otherwise, we're just putting them off. And then we will end up extra stressed, extra bored, no time, and eating. So you can use this step-by-step process to understand and properly organize these emotions. So 1, you need to recognize it. Simple as, okay, I'm feeling frustrated. Oh, I recognized it. Now you label it. So you say it out loud. I'm feeling frustrated right now. This might sound ridiculous. You might turn around and be like, Bianca, what are you trying to tell me? This is a load of trash. Honestly, you're probably thinking that because this has never been explained. How do we deal with emotions? We recognize it. A lot of the time, we don't even know what emotions we're feeling. Oh, I'm just feeling worked up. What's worked up? That's not an emotion. That's probably an accumulation of emotions. So we recognize it. Okay, this is frustration. We label it. This is frustration. You say it out loud. You say it to yourself. You feel it. Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in the throat? Do you feel it in the heart? Do you feel it in the lungs? Do you feel it in the stomach? Do you feel it in your hands? Are your hands tight? Is your jaw clenched? Where can you feel it? What are the sensations that you're feeling? So you've recognized it. You label it. You feel it. So you understand exactly where it comes from. Because when we do, we understand that it is just a response. An emotion is a response. So if you're feeling angry or frustrated, this clenching, well, it's not doing anything. It's just clenching. Okay. Frustration is clenching. Frustration is me furrowing my forehead. And once you start to unpick that, you can really, really sit with the emotion because it's just a response. So recognize it, label it, feel it, and resolve it. How can you release this? Can you breathe? Can you take some nice long breaths? If you're feeling all worked up because it's been a long day and you're stressed and you get home and you're like, okay, what's just gonna, oh my God, I want that cake. I want that mince pie. I'm going to have that mince pie. Is it the mince pie itself or the cake or the bread roll, whatever it is, the breadstick? Is it that thing that's actually going, here you go, here's some relief. And you take it and you go, oh. No, it's the sigh, it's the sit down, it's that moment that you are allowing yourself before you have to get up and be mum again, before you have to get up and be spouse again, before you have to continue with your day. It's that moment that you're allowing yourself to process the emotions, to process the day. It's not the food. The food has just been an accompaniment to that moment, and it's just happened to be paired together. Get rid of the food. You can still give yourself that time frame when you get home to just breathe, to relax. Give yourself 5 minutes. Resolving that emotion is breathing and sitting and being calm and still for 2 minutes, 5 minutes tops. So how do we deal with negative emotions? We recognize it, we label it, we feel it, we resolve it. But what about when we want to do, when all we want to do is just reach for food and we are emotional? What about grabbing a bowl of popcorn for a movie? And Stacey, this goes on to explain exactly what you said. If you grab a bowl of popcorn for a movie, that's likely habit. But if you grab a bar of chocolate halfway through a romantic movie, it's likely to be emotional. When are you grabbing food? What food are you grabbing? What are you feeling in that moment? Okay, then folks, if you are watching, oh, hello. If you're watching, don't forget to type in coach now if you're watching live, and I will unpick some emotional eating habits that you might have at the end of this live training. If you're watching replay, sorry, just catching up on everyone who's just joined. Hi, Sandy. Hi, CJ. Just catching everyone up on quickly. If you guys are watching live, type in coach now, and at the end of the training, I can coach you through some emotional eating behaviors or habits that you might have. So grabbing a bar of chocolate halfway through a romantic movie is likely emotional because you've already started feeling those emotions. Maybe you're like, oh, this is feeling something. I need something to get me out of that. Again, we're not tackling the actual emotion. We're not feeling it. We're not labeling it. We're not resolving it. We're just resolving it with food, if that makes sense. So I want you to begin to notice when and what you're eating. Become extremely vigilant with spotting when anything touches your lips, okay? Extremely vigilant, but only with curiosity, not and never judgment. Curiosity looks like, I wonder what the reason is behind eating this. But judgment sounds like, why did I eat that? I'm never going to lose weight if I carry on going like that. There's a difference. Curiosity creates possibility. The more curious you are as to why something's happening, the more open you are to soothing it, to understanding it, and to resolving it. If we attack it from a judgmental perspective, we are just putting up boundaries for ourselves. We are creating extra stress, which is switching on the stress response, which is stopping your ability to lose weight. Always approach from a curious perspective, never from a judgmental perspective. And you're going to start to feel uncomfortable as you start learning and realizing that you are eating when it's not necessary, okay? But sit with it, for God's sake. I want you to begin to notice when and what you're eating. When you do, you will notice that you are eating a little bit more or unnecessarily, and it will feel uncomfortable, and you'll be like, oh my God, I actually do that. I get this a lot with clients when I say, right, okay, your homework this week is to literally do this. I want you to notice what food touches your lips, when and why. And they'll come back to me and they'll go, oh my God, I didn't realize. And I feel like this and I feel like that. And I'm, whoa. This is just coming from a curious perspective. This is why you are here. This is why probably you're watching this training video. And it will start to feel uncomfortable the more you recognize your habits and behaviors, because we have blocked that out. We are pretending that they don't exist. And we pretend that it's just the food that we're eating. No, we need to deal with our emotions, and it's totally fine. It's not your fault that you haven't been able to process or understand them just yet, because you haven't been told what you need to do. The next step is, before you eat, I want you to ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Not peckish, not snackish, as I say. Are you actually hungry? And every time before you eat something, ask yourself, what's going on right now? So you ask, am I hungry? If you're not hungry, what's going on? If you're not actually hungry, there is 100% chance that if you're grabbing food or you're going for food, it's emotional eating. Okay, 40-50 chance it's either emotional eating or it's habitual or it's mindless eating. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Donna Marie. Hi, Angie. Hi, Victoria. Thank you so much for jumping on. Hopefully I get to see you soon. Donna Marie is one of my fantastic new clients. We are doing a fabulous for 50 regenerate program, and I'm so happy that you could be here, even though look at you asking to be coached, even though in half an hour we've got your coaching session. Love it, girl. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So before you eat, ask yourself, am I actually hungry? If you are not hungry, ask yourself every single time something touches your lips for at least a week, what's going on right now? So how am I feeling right now? What 3 emotions am I actually feeling? Name them. Go through the process. Recognize it, label it, feel it, resolve it. Resolve isn't going to be eating. Okay, how am I feeling? What are the emotions I'm actually feeling? What was the sequence of events that led me to these emotions, that led me to this moment, that led me to the moment of me grabbing something out the cupboard? What time of day is it? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how hungry am I? Because likely you might not be hungry, but you could be hungry, but you might not realize that there's an emotion also in the way. Sometimes people don't understand or recognize what hunger actually feels like. So if you go through those steps and then afterwards, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hungry am I? Again, you might be able to start recognizing what hunger actually is. Do this for 1 week, and I guarantee you, you'll start noticing a correlation between certain emotions, positive or negative, and the types of food you have, the time of day you're having it, and or the thing that you're doing. Awesome. Okay, so just looking through the comments, Stacey, there's like a second stomach for sugar. Yes, I get that. I completely get that. This is actually coming from, I am literally a sugar fiend, an absolute sugar fiend. It is terrible. So I completely understand what you're saying there. Give me 1 second. Stacey, if you want to jump on board, do you have Zoom, Stacey? Let me know, because I think I can only get you on if you jump in my Zoom call. So I'll give you my my Zoom and you can jump on and be coached. Let me know. You don't. Okie dokie. Okay, I want to still honor a quick coaching call with you. If we can't get you on Zoom, I will do an off-air coaching. Maybe I will try and record it and then post it up later so you guys can have an understanding of what it looks like. Oh God, I just did that with my hair. Okie dokie. Stacey, we'll do an off-air one. Donna Marie, you're 21, by the way. Sorry, Donna Marie. Fabulous for 21, I know. Donna Marie, would you like to be coached live? Please speak or forever hold your peace. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. We have a beautiful turnout, and this is going to be up on replay. So again, if you're watching replay, just type in replay coach, and I will drop you a message to set up a free, very quick 10 to 15 minute call where we can unpick your emotional eating habits and create some new neural pathways. Okay, Donna Marie, you have my personal meeting. So just jump on where we would usually meet. And if you can jump on, request to join, and I'll accept you in. I've never done a free live coaching before. This is awesome. Yeah, Stacey, I will try and jump on after this call. We'll see quickly. If not, I will message you and we can work through that. So Donna Marie, let me know if you're having any troubles. Let me know how this live was for you folks. Was it useful? Was it interesting? do you have any questions? If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you are not sure about coaching and you don't want to jump on, maybe you're a little bit nervous, maybe you're unsure about what you want to ask, then just ask your questions below. I guarantee you, whoever you are, whatever question you have, I guarantee you someone out there is also confused and has the same question, because no question is silly and all questions are relevant. Okay, Donna Marie. Hello. Hello, my lovely. Hello, my lovely. Hello, Carlos. How are you, my darling?
You can't really see me at the moment. Hold on.
Oh, hang on a second. Bear with.
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I'm back. For everyone that is still watching, this is my beautiful, fantastic, fabulous at 21 client. I can't believe you are getting in a sneaky, sly extra 10 minutes here, because Donna Marie actually has her 5th session with me in half an hour.
Got to get more while I can.
Absolutely. What have you got for me?
So yeah, I'm guessing I missed the first couple of minutes of your talk, but so I found as I'm getting over 21, the age of 21,
22.
that, yeah, that I am becoming an emotional eater. I don't know where it's come from. I never used to be like this at all. I don't really have the mindless eating. I don't generally tend to sit and watch a film and eat. Even at a cinema, I don't eat at all. But I always thought they were just like cravings, like you know, like I fancied like having an apple pie or apple tart or whatever, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll have one of those. And when I can't have it, it's just like, oh, what can I have in its place? What am I going to have in its place? And then I'll go for crisps or something. But I've never seen it as emotional eating. I guess that's why I've never linked the two. So is there, how do I curb that? How do I keep that under control, say?
Absolutely. Thank you for jumping on and asking this question. Perfectly valid. And you know, sometimes it's difficult, but to distinguish between cravings and emotional eating as well. And thank you so much for bringing that up, because that's something that I didn't cover. So cravings is that like that I have to have something now. Do you feel like that's the urge that you get? I have to have something now.
It's like I get a taste for something, and it's just like, I need to, I kind of have it now. And if I don't, I'm just like, oh. And then I'm kind of like sulky and a bit moody, and then I'll forget about it. But then I may remember an hour later, oh yeah, I didn't have that apple pie. What can I have instead? Because I know I've not got the pie, so what else can I have? And then crisps, I mean, it's never nothing like fruit. It's always a packet of crisps or something. I'm not a chocolate fiend, so it wouldn't be that, but normally crisps are normally what I have in my cupboard. So yeah, it would, I'd just go for that.
Yeah. So when you are, can you describe like what's going on in your mind and in your body when you think, oh, I really, really want this food?
If I'm truthful and if I'm really honest, it's not a hunger. I'm not hungry. I just want it. And it doesn't happen every day. There are just times, normally at the weekend, when I've got time to think about it, because when I'm at work, I'm just doing whatever I'm doing at work. And actually, I may have a packet of crisps in my drawer at work, so I don't really, think about anything other than those crisps. But at home on the weekends, Actually, it could be boredom.
Mm-hmm.
It could be boredom. I've never sat down and thought at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but thinking about it now, it's most probably boredom,
Mm-hmm.
because it's definitely not hunger. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not overly hunger. No.
Yeah, so we can rule out hunger. That's great. So we know that it's not, we actually need something. And along that kind of path as well, you've got your cravings. So
Yeah.
if it was a craving, you would be it's likely to be a deficiency in something. So the craving could be, I've got a real craving for sweets. Okay, I've got a real craving, and I know chocolate isn't your thing, but maybe it's sweets or salty foods or whatever it is. There's likely a deficiency in your body. So for example, for those people that really, really crave chocolate, not necessarily all the time, but sometimes chocolate, that could be a deficiency in magnesium, let's say. So it could be a deficiency in a particular nutrient, vitamin, or it could just be a lack of energy. So sometimes when we get to that kind of like 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock time during the day, that's often when we will reach for sweets. For example, one of my previous clients, Lily, anytime that she would be marking in the late afternoon, she's a teacher, she would grab a packet of sweets. But she realized that it wasn't an energy thing. That she wasn't using it to pick her up as an energy thing. She had just paired marking with sweets because she had it once, and that was the neural pathway that connected. So for you, what I would recommend, Donna Marie, is first of all, start noticing. So start becoming hyper aware of when something touches your lips. Okay, what am I doing? Again, like we've discussed as well, don't come from a judgmental perspective, because that's just encouraging the stress response. It's not helping, and that's not going to help you ultimately get to your goals. But come from a place of, okay, let's understand this behavior so we can smash it, and so I can work on it, because that's ultimately what's going to get you to your weight loss goals faster. So if it is a boredom thing, it likely comes around the same sort of time of day or around the same sort of thing. So as I said, what are the feelings? Okay, maybe I'm feeling bored, or maybe I'm feeling a bit anxious, or I've got a meeting coming up, I'm not too sure how I feel. Okay, is it a certain time of day? Or what was the sequence of events that led up to that? Well, okay, actually I was really busy all morning, and then all of a sudden I've sent my project off, work is done, and now I'm like, oh God, okay, oh, that was crazy. Oh, I'm going to eat this packet of crisps. You know, what was the sequence of events that led up to that? And really start noticing when it comes up. And if it is boredom, well, one, we don't need the unsupporting foods in the drawer. So one, you can swap those foods for supporting foods. For your bottle of water, perhaps like a sealed fresh bottle of water. So anytime you need to reach for something, you can reach for that. Perhaps it could be chewing gum if it needs to be. Perhaps it can be a piece of fruit that you bring in and rotate and put that in the drawer where the crisps were. If it's something salty and you feel like it's always something salty, then have a salty snack. Have some rice cakes and hummus. Bring that to work. Have that in the drawer. But start to notice it. So swap the foods out, start to notice it when it comes. And then when it comes, you can label it. So I don't know if you caught what I said earlier about how to tackle your emotions, but you recognize it, you label it, you feel it, you resolve it. So you recognize it. If it comes around and you go, oh, yeah, this is it. I'm feeling boredom. I'm feeling bored. You know, it wasn't anything else. I'm not unhappy. I'm not specifically like really happy or this or that. You can recognize it. And it might not be boredom. It might be frustration. It might be your boss that's winding you up. You never know. Hopefully your boss isn't in this group. It could be your boss that's winding you up, and therefore you could feel anxious. So, you know, you don't know until you actually understand it and you're there in that moment. Recognize it, label it, so say it out loud, feel it, let it overcome you. Okay, this is boredom. This is what boredom feels like. Okay, well, what next? You know, how can I resolve it? Maybe when I need 5 minutes to take a break from work, I'll bring in a Sudoku, or I will allow myself 5 minutes to scroll social media. Whatever it is that cures that still stays in line with your goals, is essentially what you need to then replace that moment with. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
Beautiful,
I'm
beautiful.
get it in my mind and make sure it sticks, but yes, it does.
Recognize it, label it, feel it, resolve it.
Resolve it. Yeah. Thank you.
You are most welcome, my lovely. I will message you after this live. I just need to kind of post a couple of things and then we can jump on your session.
Okie dokie.
All right, darling. Thank you so much for jumping on, Donna Marie, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Beautiful guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Where are we? Just going to look at the comments quickly. Stacey, not to worry, you've already been so helpful. Thank you. Doesn't Donna Marie look fantastic, Stacey? Thank you so much for recognizing how gorgeous my client is. Low mood is a huge one for me with these cravings. Stacey, low mood, let's tackle that shortly. We can absolutely tackle that, no problem. Oh, look at my ladies getting along. I'm so happy. Low mood. Absolutely. Do you know what? Low mood is an emotional eating trigger. It is for a lot of people, and that's totally understandable. You just haven't had the time, the breakdown, the understanding, the knowledge, the education to deal with it. And that's totally fine. That's why you're here. That is why we are starting to make progress today. Folks, thank you so much for joining me. You have all been amazing. I hope that you have learned as much as you possibly can. Take everything away from this session, re-watch it, type in coached replay, and I will come out to you and we will spend 10-15 minutes just working through your emotional eating patterns like I just did with Donna Marie and like I will do with Stacey. Every person is slightly different. Every person has a trigger. Every person has a trigger food. So jump on a call with me, type in coach replay, and we can just spend 10-15 minutes just breaking it down and understanding what it is for you. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. I will see you next week. Next week I have a video planned and a worksheet as well, so don't forget to come and join me. Have a beautiful, very Merry Christmas if Christmas is your thing. Enjoy, relax, don't overeat, don't make it difficult for the future version of you to catch up, to not feel guilty. Don't make her have to feel guilty. Okay, eat mindfully, folks. Don't eat when you're emotional. I know the holidays can be difficult, but don't eat when you're emotional. Set boundaries, know exactly what you're going to be having. Much love, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you all next week.